In this bite-sized session, we're going to be exploring the changes to the non-examined assessment, or NEA, for all Level 1 and Level 2 V Cert qualifications awarded by NCFE. It should last about 10 minutes. So let's start with an overview of the session, which you can see on the screen now. We'll start off with an overview of the assessment grading process for the new V Cert NEAs, and then start to explore how they might impact on your teaching and learning activities. So the Model 5 V Cert qualifications were ready for first teach in September 2022. They were designed in collaboration with employers and practitioners and are vocational equivalents to GCSEs. The DFE introduced a terminal assessment rule for all technical awards, and to fit in more easily with the school curriculum, mirror the structure of GCSEs. There are two assessment activities: the non-examined assessment and the external assessments or exams. They are designed to give pupils an opportunity to achieve, based both on their skills in and knowledge of the subject area. Okay, to summarise the tutor guidance for the NEA, it's available for completion from the 1st of September each year and should be undertaken once all of the relevant specification has been delivered in Year 2. On the screen now, you'll see more detail about the requirements of the NEA. Please pause the recording for a moment to ensure you're familiar with this guidance. This is also available on the NCFE website on the V Cert qualification specific pages. Understandably, with anything new, we've been asked questions about the new assessment structure, and you'll be able to see the FAQs on our website via the link shown on the screen now. Questions we've had related to the new assessment process can also be seen now, regarding how pupils' overall grades are calculated, the scaled marks awarded for the NEA and EA are added together and aggregated to award the overall grade for the qualification. As long as the combined NEA and EA mark equates to at least the pass mark required for Level 1, the pupil will achieve the qualification. Grade boundaries are calculated in the same way as GCSEs. This means that the grade boundaries cannot be set until after the pupils have completed the assessments. Grade boundaries will be set each academic year once all the results have been moderated and examined. There is guidance in the specification regarding overall grading descriptors, but awarding organisations are unable to translate this into actual data for grading purposes until after the pupils complete the assessments. Previous V Cert models were approved by the DFE to use a UMS format, but the new V Certs do not. The NEA assessment will be numerically marked by centres rather than graded. Centres will have access to administration and standardisation training to support the application of the mark scheme. Setting the grade boundaries and awarding grades is completed by NCFE as part of our awarding process. So with this in mind, what additional support can NCFE provide? And how does it impact on teaching and learning? So starting off with how schools could effectively prepare their pupils for the NEA. On the screen now, you'll see an overview showing a list of important points and factors you should take into consideration related to the regulations, tasks, access arrangements, timings, resources, and training available from the EQA team. Please pause the recording for a moment to ensure you're familiar with everything here. And this information can be located on the NCFE website, and we'd encourage you to also review the web page for your specific V Cert, where you'll find additional support, assessment and teaching materials linked directly to the updated specifications and assessment activities. The page for the Child Development and Care in the Early Years V Cert is on the screen now. So we're now going to share some generic tips to support pupils' readiness for the NEA. So the first point relates to applying theory to practice. The NEA should be carried out once all of the specification has been taught, but that doesn't mean we must wait until Year 2 before we introduce it. Classroom learning should make strong links between theory and the application of the knowledge to practical tasks. Highlight the importance of the knowledge and skills in the industry, remembering that the vocational qualification should have application of theory to practice at its core. Using the sample NEA materials provided, start to structure formative assessment activities which mirror the summative ones. You could get pupils to create similar tasks for each other to complete and structure peer assessment activities which will build confidence in their ability to carry out the live ones. It's also good practice to constantly review progress, knowledge and understanding and skills. So plan in regular checks linked to the specification to allow the pupils to revisit areas of difficulty and teachers to recap and reinforce what they should be able to do at specific checkpoints or milestones during the programme. We may need to plan in some additional focus work to plug any gaps or bring in alternative teaching activities if learning isn't taking place at the required level. Try to consider how the pupils are going to learn something rather than how the teacher is going to teach it. Practice does normally make perfect, or at least improve knowledge, understanding, competencies, and confidence. So please don't worry about over-practicing something as and when it's needed. We've already mentioned peer and self-assessment activities. Raising pupil awareness of their progress and developmental needs should help to engage them in their learning. Peer assessing and testing each other is something which can be really useful and beneficial to individuals and groups. It might just need to be supported, guided, and structured in a way that meets your individual pupil needs. And putting pupils into the assessor role can help build their self-awareness and metacognition. Ask them to be the marker and grade examples. Ask them to justify decisions and encourage them to think more deeply about a skill or knowledge area. This will also help them identify and work towards higher grades. And using the grading information provided by NCFE to explain and review how the pupils can gain those higher marks in the live assessment activities. Empower them to aim higher by really evaluating what higher looks like. And finally, it's a technical programme with the emphasis on assessing pupil vocational skills. As much as possible, make the theory come to life by reinforcing the knowledge being used in practice in the industry at every possible opportunity. So many thanks for listening today. If you'd like further support, please contact our customer support team with any live assessment queries. And for teaching and learning support, please contact the provider development team. We hope you found this bite-sized recording interesting and useful. Thank you and goodbye.